Hello, fellow green thumbs, and welcome back to the channel. It's wonderful to see you all here. Today, we re-diving deep into a topic that is at the very heart of successful gardening, nurturing our precious seedlings. Think of them as the babies of the plant world. How we care for them in these early stages sets the foundation for their entire lives, determining whether they grow into strong, healthy, and productive plants. We've all been there. You've successfully germinated your seeds. You see those first tiny green shoots and your heart swells with pride. But what comes next? This crucial period can be a little intimidating, but I promise with the right knowledge, it's incredibly rewarding. We're going to break down the two most vital ingredients for seedling success, nutrients and sunlight. Get these two things right, and you're well on your way to a garden that's the envy of the neighborhood. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's get ready to give our plant babies the 5-star treatment they deserve. First up, let's talk about food. Just like babies, seedlings need the right kind of nutrition to grow big and strong. When a seed first sprouts, it has its own little packed lunch called the cotyledons. These are the first 1 or 2 leaves you see, and they provide all the energy the seedling needs to get started. But once the first set of true leaves appears, those are the ones that look like a miniature version of the adult plant S leaves. That packed lunch runs out. This is our cue to step in and start providing some gentle nutrition. Now, here's a common mistake many beginners make. They reach for a powerful, all-purpose fertilizer. Please don't do this. It's like giving a baby a huge steak dinner. Their delicate, brand new root systems just can't handle it and can easily be burned. We need to start with something much, much gentler. So what should you use? The key is to use a fertilizer that's been diluted, usually to about 1/4 or half the strength recommended for mature plants. Liquid fertilizers are fantastic for this because they're easy to measure and mix. Look for a balanced formula, something with a label like the 10th of October 10, which means it has equal parts nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Nitrogen helps with leafy green growth, phosphorus is crucial for strong root development, and potassium helps with overall plant health and resilience. You can also find fertilizers specifically formulated for seedlings, which takes a lot of the guesswork out. When you apply it, water your seedlings with plain water first. This ensures the soil is moist and the roots are ready to absorb the nutrients without being shocked. Then follow up with your diluted fertilizer solution. How often? A good rule of thumb is to feed them about once a week. Remember, less is more. It is always easier to add a little more food later than it is to fix a plant that has been over-fertilized. Now, let's move on to the second superstar of seedling care, sunlight. Plants are solar-powered and seedlings are especially hungry for light. It's the energy source they use for photosynthesis, the process that fuels all their growth. Without enough light, you'll end up with seedlings that are leggy. This is a term we use to describe plants that are tall, skinny, and pale, with large gaps between their leaves. They're stretching, desperately reaching for a light source that isn't strong enough. Leggy seedlings are weak. Their stems can't support them, and they often struggle to survive once they're transplanted. To avoid this, you need to provide intense, direct light for about 12 to 16 hours a day. For many of us, especially if we're starting seeds indoors in late winter or early spring, a sunny windowsill just isn't going to cut it. The light is often too indirect and the days are too short. This is where grow lights become your absolute best friend. You don't need a super expensive, high-tech setup. Simple fluorescent shop lights or modern LED grow lights work wonders. The most important thing is the placement. You need to position the lights very close to the seedlings, just 2 to 4 inches above the tops of the plants. As the seedlings grow taller, you'll need to raise the lights accordingly to maintain that distance. This close proximity provides the intensity they need without any risk of burning them, unlike the heat from the sun through a window. Using a simple timer to automatically turn your lights on and Off for 16 hours a day makes the whole process incredibly easy and consistent. Consistent, strong light will give you seedlings that are short, stout, and a vibrant, healthy green color. These are the seedlings that have the strength and energy reserves to thrive when they finally move into the great outdoors. Let's do a quick recap of the ideal routine. Your seeds have sprouted and their first true leaves have unfurled. This is go time. Once a week, you'll give them their feeding. First, a gentle watering with plain water to moisten the soil. Then a follow-up drink of your quarter-strength, balanced liquid fertilizer. For the rest of the week, just check the soil moisture. The best way to do this is to feel it. Stick your finger in about an inch deep. If it feels dry, it's time to water. If it's still damp, wait another day. Overwatering is just as dangerous as underwatering, as it can lead to root rot and fungal diseases. It's a good practice to water from the bottom by placing your seedling trays in a shallow pan of water for about 20 minutes. This encourages the roots to grow downwards and helps keep the foliage dry, which prevents disease. Simultaneously, your grow lights are on a timer, bathing your seedlings in bright light for 16 hours every single day. The lights are positioned just a couple of inches above the plants. As your seedlings grow, you'll raise the lights. It's a simple dance. Water when dry, feed once a week, and provide consistent, close light. Another pro tip is to gently brush your hands over the tops of your seedlings a few times a day, or have a small fan blowing on them. This mimics the wind and encourages them to grow stronger, thicker stems, making them more resilient for their eventual move outside. This process of gradually introducing them to outdoor conditions is called hardening off. And it's a critical final step before transplanting, but we'll save that for another video. For now, focus on this perfect combination of gentle food and abundant light. By paying close attention to these two fundamental needs, you're not just growing plants, you're cultivating life. You're setting your garden up for a season of abundance. Imagine those sturdy green seedlings you nurtured transforming into towering tomato plants loaded with fruit, or beautiful zinnias bursting with color. That success story starts right here, right now, with how you care for them in these first few weeks. It takes a little bit of attention, but the payoff is immense. Don't be afraid to observe your plants. They'll tell you what they need. Are the leaves turning yellow? They might be hungry or overwatered. Are they looking pale and thin? They probably need more light. Gardening is a conversation between you and your plants, and learning their language is one of the most joyful parts of the journey. Thank you so much for joining me today and for letting me share my passion for growing with you. I hope these tips give you the confidence to raise the healthiest, happiest seedlings you've ever grown. Remember, it's all about gentle nutrients and lots of light. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell so you won't miss our next gardening adventure. We have so much more to explore together this season. Happy growing, everyone, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye for now.